Hey, what's up, everybody? I figured I'd get a chance to discuss a very special review, which I know will probably have a lot of meaning to many people. And that particular one happens to be Star Trek II Wrath of Khan, which, of course, turns 40 this year. And, of course, there are other movies, that also celebrate a special 40th anniversary. Those include E.T., The Extraterrestrial, and the original Blade Runner, but those will be reviews for a separate time. Anyway, uh, yeah, the premise behind the Wrath of Khan came about after the box office disappointment that was Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and I guess in a way to kind of keep the Star Trek cinematic universe alive and going, they figured out what would like entice fans to return for a sequel by none other than bringing back the infamous Khan Noonien Singh, who was a genetically enhanced superhuman, that was seen in the Star Trek original series episode Space Seed. And of course, it's kind of like how would you say, like a submarine slash Captain Ahab battle in space, if that kind of makes any sense, which was kind of like what the feel of the movie was going for. And of course, it takes, Khan, wants revenge on Kirk for leaving him uh, stranded on City Alpha 5 for nearly 20 years. And he kind of figures that the good old Admiral, abandoned him and, pretty much in a sense left him to die, even though it was Khan's choice to go into exile, since saying at the original series episode, it's better to be a ruler in hell than a servant in heaven, or something like that, if the old saying is correct. And of course, the film also deals with other aspects of it, including, James Kirk, dealing with aging, and of course, kind of feeling like, bored with, being an admiral, since he, being on a starship, as Spock would say in the movie, his his next best destiny, and anything else would be like wasted material. And of course, throughout the events of the movie, Kirk also finds out that he has a son named David through a lover named Carol Marcus, in which, mother and son are working together on the Genesis project, which is like a terraforming project that will be able to create new life and new worlds on the planets that are considered desolate. And of course, when Khan finds out about that, he wants to use the Genesis project, as a weapon, as we mentioned, against Kirk. And in terms of what I think about the movie, even after 40 years, it still holds up pretty well. I mean, of course, it's a smaller budget because of how expensive the motion picture was, and of course, the characters kind of feel more like themselves in the sequel compared to like the motion picture, when after the 10-year hiatus, that the characters had to kind of like get into the rhythm of playing their characters again. And of course, the trio of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy seem to have the witty banter and a little bit more down packed this time. And it's a pretty good, story. It has, better pacing and a good story, a compelling villain. It has plenty of action. It's just overall fun to watch. And of course, Christy Alley, who played Savick in this installment before Robert Curtis took over the role in Search for Spock and Voyage Home, made her film debut here. But of course, as many fans would know, she would later go on to play Rebecca from Cheers, later on. And I will say, I can understand why Wrath of Khan is a fan favorite, since it kind of gives people what they wanted from the motion picture but weren't able to get. And it's nice to see that in effect here. So that's that. So curious to hear what people think about the Wrath of Khan even after 40 years. Uh, Feel free to like and comment in any type. Comments would be greatly appreciated. All right, everyone. Thanks.